Hello everyone, my name is Fernando Mora and I'm one of the authors along with Justin Garcia, Dreida Villegas, Matthew Rivera, and Cristian Rodriguez. And today our presentation is called Evaluating the Impact of a Conceptually Based Health Course on Physical Activity, Motivation, and Knowledge Among College Students. So I'm going to be going over the introduction. The transition to college life often leads to a decline in physical activity among students, negatively impacting their overall health and well-being. To address this issue, universities have introduced health and wellness courses designed to promote active lifestyles and enhance health-related knowledge. These courses aim to equip students with the skills and motivation needed to maintain physical activity despite the challenges associated with college life. This study specifically examined the impact of a 15-week conceptually based health/wellness course on moderate to vigorous physical activity, also known as MVPA, psychosocial factors, and health-related fitness knowledge, also known as HRFK, among college students. This course aimed to foster behavior change by incorporating both theoretical concepts and practical strategies to improve physical activity levels.
This study involved 125 undergraduate students who were enrolled during the spring 2016 semester. These participants completed surveys both before and after completing the course, with surveys measuring moderate to vigorous physical activity levels. We have exercise self-efficacy levels, motivation, and of course their health-related fitness knowledge before and after. The data analysis process included the Wilcoxon rank sum test to evaluate changes in SE levels, self-efficacy, motivation, and HRFK, which you'll diagnose under the results section. Additionally, a multiple regression analysis was conducted to examine relationships between the health-related fitness knowledge, psychosocial factors, and moderate to vigorous physical activity levels as well. These statistical approaches help to determine whether the course effectively improved physical activity behaviors and related factors.
From a quantitative perspective, this study found statistically significant improvements in health-related fitness knowledge and moderate to vigorous physical activity among students who completed the 15-week health education course. These outcomes were measured using a pre- and post-course surveys, and they were analyzed with the Wilcoxon rank sum test, which is a non-parametric test used to compare paired data. The increase in HRFK and MVPA from baseline to post-course was statistically significant, with p-values being less than 0.01, indicating a meaningful change. Furthermore, a multiple regression analysis showed that increases in self-efficacy were positively associated with increases in moderate to vigorous physical activity, suggesting a strong predictive relationship. However, the overall change in self-efficacy alone was not statistically significant, which means it did not increase enough across the group to show a strong effect by itself. These findings are based on measurable numerical data and provide evidence that the course had a quantifiable impact on students' health behaviors and knowledge.
The study highlights the potential benefits of a 15-week health education course in improving activity and health knowledge among college students, but it leaves out several important details that limit the strength of its conclusions. Although the authors mention that they evaluated the content validity of their survey tools, they do not explain how this was done or whether instruments were tested for reliability.
In quantitative research, the use of measurement tools that are both valid and reliable is critical to ensuring the accuracy and credibility of findings, especially when assessing outcomes such as self-efficacy, motivation, and physical activity levels. Without clear documentation on how these instruments were developed, validated, or tested for reliability, it becomes difficult to determine the trustworthiness of the data they generate. This lack of transparency represents a significant limitation. Another major gap in the study is the absence of detailed information about the course itself. For a 15-week program to be evaluated as successful, readers need to understand exactly what the intervention entailed. This includes knowing what content was taught, how the material was delivered, for example, lectures, discussions, or online modules, and what specific strategies were employed to engage and motivate the students. Providing a detailed curriculum outline, such as weekly topics, types of assignments, and any physical activity components would not only clarify why the program may be effective, but also allow other educators or researchers to replicate it in future implementations. Additionally, the lack of a control group in the study presents a serious limitation in drawing conclusions about causality. Without a comparison group, it is impossible to determine whether the observed improvements in physical activity and health knowledge were a direct result of the course or due to unrelated external factors. Control groups are fundamental elements of rigorous quantitative research because they strengthen internal validity and support more confident interpretations of cause and effect relationships. Finally, the study only assessed outcomes immediately following the conclusion of the course. As a result, it remains unclear whether students maintain their increased physical activity levels or retain their health knowledge over the long term. Including a follow-up assessment weeks or months later would provide valuable insights into the lasting impact of the intervention. In summary, while the study presents encouraging preliminary findings, several limitations weaken the strength and generalizability of its conclusions. These include the lack of validated measurement tools, insufficient details about the course, content, and delivery, absence of a control group, and short-term evaluation window. Future research should address these shortcomings to provide a more robust, reliable, and actionable evidence.